Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be talking about the mission reward incorrectly capped Reddit blog from Epic Games, and this is going to be concerning the Twine Peaks rewards for the final time, I hope to God. If you guys don't know how many videos I've already made concerning the Twine Peaks rewards, this is how many. That is how many videos that I have made in the past, and in today's video, hopefully, this entire thing regarding Twine Peaks rewards can finally be put to rest. So yeah guys, today we're going to be talking about this Reddit blog which came out from Dave the Buck, who is the community coordinator over at Epic Games, and it is concerning the mission rewards with the newfound update that we're supposed to tweak the Twine Peaks reward scaling. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it, take a look at it. I also have a lot of other stuff towards the end of the video that I want to talk about too, but let's go ahead and jump into the important stuff. So Dave the Buck mentions here, he says, "Hey everyone, I wanted to address some concerns that have been raised about mission rewards and 4-player missions. Thank you all to have raised visibility on this issue. For those of you guys that don't know, there is seemingly no buff to reperk or perk up or anything like that whenever it was previously promised in the last post that Epic Games had put out regarding the Twine Peaks rewards." He says, "We have discovered a bug where some missions incorrectly have their rewards capped. Using this post by Chedick as an example, this cap caused the rewards to flatten after a certain point, even though the UI, the end of mission reward chest and the bar underneath, indicated that more rewards should have been earned. This resulted in getting the same rewards in separate missions even though a different chest level was earned. The bug in this case is that the reward cap should not be in effect on a 4-player deliver the bomb mission. Increasing this cap to the correct value will allow a higher badge completion rate to properly grant greater rewards as explained in this post, and this will be fixed in 11.0. Thank you for reading. Definitely a bombshell at the end of this post, but basically what he's saying is that although it said you were getting more rewards via the chest level that you got and the XP under it, you were actually getting capped at a level 4 chest every single time you completed any kind of mission, essentially. And in everybody's experiences, the 4 times drops of rain missions have been working just fine. However, these perk up missions and these reperk missions and all this kind of stuff have been affected by this bug and are not being buffed. So essentially, how it works is that the more badges you get, the higher the chest level you get, and the experience under it is supposed to correlate to how many rewards you will be getting, and essentially what that does is apply a multiplier to those rewards and allows you to get more. In this case, it's essentially being capped out at level 4 due to a bug. Now, of course, like I said, the bombshell at the end of this is that this is going to be fixed in Season 11, which is definitely something that caught myself off guard as I read this live on stream yesterday. It was definitely something that was very interesting. For me, from my point of view, it really seems like Epic Games is doubling down on Season 11 to be that season that is going to revive Save the World and make it much better, which can kind of be seen as a good thing or a bad thing depending on your outlook on it. Personally, I think that this is a good thing. If they are going to make Season 10 a disappointing season, which they already have, then there's no reason to attempt to revive it whenever Season 11 is like 2.5 weeks away. You know what I mean? There's no reason to put more resources into Season 10 at this point. It's a lost cause. You might as well focus your resources towards Season 11, which you're hoping to be the renaissance for this game. The biggest time we've seen since Fortnite, I imagine, is the type of level that Epic Games is trying to go for Season 11. So for me, I see this as more of a positive, although having to wait till Season 11 for this to happen is absolutely ridiculous. For those of you guys that don't know, the Twine Peaks reward scaling was first announced 5 months ago via a Save the World roadmap that said, "We're back with another Save the World roadmap. Here's a sneak peek at some of the highlights." If you scroll down, it says additionally in 8.50. So this was happening in Season 8, the last update of Season 8. We're going to be making some tweaks to the high-end Twine and be adding higher power level missions to the end of the zones and blah blah blah. He also goes on to mention higher grade materials as Bright Core and Sunbeam and the first iteration of changes for harder content, so not necessarily rewards. So you would say, well Joey, he's not mentioning the reward scaling, he's mentioning stuff like Sunbeam and blah blah blah. Well, if you fast forward to the design chat, which very shortly followed this, which was just about 5 months ago, it says at the bottom of this, it says with harder difficulty comes better loot. In general, players will find that these missions will favor tier 5 materials, such as Sunbeam and Brightcore, and more as they progress deeper into Twine. Players who are strong enough to take on these missions will also find themselves earning better loot from things like chests, mining nodes, and mission rewards. So the entire idea of putting higher end levels into Twine, it was supposed to come with scaled mission rewards 5 months ago, right? This was supposed to be done, said, and over with almost half a year ago. And as much as I try to be open-minded to things, I can't let this go and say that this is acceptable. It's absolutely ridiculous that it's taken almost half a year to get these things working properly, okay? And I think it blows my mind, really. Now, there are a few takeaways from this post, not the post that we just read, but from the more recent post, and that's kind of what I want to elaborate on for the rest of this video, so I hope you guys continue watching. Basically, we did have a response from Dave the Buck, which I found very interesting, and this can be something that can be seen as a very big positive for the rest of the game, or for the rest of the time, or whatever for this game's development. We had a post from Cheddick. He was responding to somebody. If you guys don't know who Cheddick is, by the way, he is a Twitch streamer. You should go check him out. I believe it's twitch.tv/Cheddick. He's a very well-known person in terms of knowledge for the game, and somebody you could go to if you need help with endurance. He's a really cool guy. But he responded to somebody on the thread. He said, I mean, people make mistakes. The developers are only human. At least they're humble enough to admit their problems and plan out a fix. And Dave the Buck responded. He said, and you guys have made it abundantly clear that you prefer communication over a lack of communication. So I'm happy to convey any information that I can. And the actual post for this got tons of downvotes. But as you guys can see, myself and the rest of the Reddit community, it would seem, completely agree with Dave the Buck. And I hope you guys do as well, that, yeah, this is bad news. The fact that it's taking till season 11 to get this stuff fixed is ridiculous. It is bad, okay? And this can only show to me that they have more developers working on more future stuff rather than the current stuff that's going on. And so since this does have to be pushed back to season 11, it sucks, but I am very happy to see that regardless of negative news, Epic Games, Dave the Buck, community coordinator, and Magus, and whatever, anytime in the future, whether there is good news or bad news, they are going to share it with us. And in the past, all they have done is shared good news with us, at least until it, got released later on, and the community had their own reaction to it. This is giving us straight to our face bad news, but they are at least being communicative and not leaving us in the dark with this. This update came out, plenty of people played it, and plenty of people were complaining. Perk up is bad, reperk is bad, it's not fixed, whatever. If Epic Games would have stayed silent about it, I can assure you that people would have been more pissed off with this. But the fact that they're willing to go out of the dark and actually comment on the situation gets mad respect from me as a player and as a content creator that does nothing but play this game, make content on this game, and build my community around this game. This means a lot to me that they are actually going to be talking about this kind of stuff regardless of good or bad. I can give them, props on this. I can give Epic Games props on that. However, I cannot excuse the fact that it took almost half a year to get these Twine Peaks rewards and all this kind of stuff settled out and kind of set in place. Had they not had to spend so much time on this, this could have been put into future content and into better things for the game. The last thing I want to mention in this video is going to be regarding the community's response to this, and more so my community. I asked people to be as respectful as possible because I cannot stand just outright toxic comments that gets nobody anywhere. I put out on Twitter, I said, gonna be featuring your replies in a video given I cover this topic. This was yesterday, and I said, this is the most recent post concerning Twine rewards from Epic Games, and I'm curious on your guys' stance on this. I went on my own personal feel on, this entire situation. I said I appreciate the communication. I said I can't excuse the fact that this is an issue, and I said that I'm hopeful for the fact that they're putting towards more resources towards doubling down on season 11 and then kind of just leaving season 10 to be a disappointment and then hitting us with a huge barrage of content in season 11. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I picked out 4 comments, and all of which are very different, and I'll be going over them really quick. So we had a comment from John. He responded, he said, all that I'm saying is that these issues were in Battle Royale. They would have been fixed within 2 weeks, not an entire season. And John is a little bit wrong here, as it's been since 8.50, as I pointed out earlier. So, yeah, but, concerning your tweet, I agree. I think that if this were a BR issue, if this were something that was in Battle Royale, it would have been fixed instantaneously. But I think that sometimes people forget that whenever it comes to the company Epic Games, the higher ups at the company, they decide on what team gets what funding and how much kind of support that they get. And I think it's obvious that the Save the World team is understaffed. They don't have enough people to test the game, and they don't have enough funding to go towards the game at the moment. And hopefully this is something that Cosmetics can fix by getting in more money and showing the devs, or showing the, higher ups, not the devs, that Save the World is something that needs to be invested into. I don't necessarily think that this is 100% the Save the World developers' faults, as I believe that the Epic Games, higher ups kind of influence this kind of stuff and the speed at which this kind of stuff gets fixed. But I'm not going to excuse it entirely. The devs should have been a little bit more on top of their game in terms of thinking this out and being a little bit quicker on their responses. It took us about 6 months. At least it could have taken about 3 months or 1 season. And even then, that's pretty ridiculous. But I appreciate the comment, John. Next up, we're going to go on to Toxic Touch. He says the communication is really nice, although I don't get why we have to wait until Season 11 for this to be fixed. I haven't played a lot of Fortnite lately, so I'm hoping Season 11 will be a great one. And the reason I picked this is because I feel like this really resonates with the entirety of the community. Everybody just doesn't want to play Fortnite right now, and I cannot blame you. Battle Royale is in a very bad state at the moment, and so is Save the World. This isn't a Save the World exclusive issue. Most people are having issues with Fortnite right now. People don't want to play the game, and a lot of us are just hoping for Season 11 to be really good. And honestly, I feel like Season 11 is more of the most make or break that this game is ever going to have. People will leave if they're disappointed with a season, but Season 11, this can risk a huge percentage of the player base if it's not properly implemented and not properly launched. Moving on to a comment by Homebase Serenity. This is a little bit of a longer one, but it's definitely a good point of view to throw into the mix. He says, honestly, I'm right there with you. I know the season has been really disappointing to longtime players, but as somebody who has yet to hit 1 year playing the game, it has been less disappointing to me. The season has given me, I am 95% sure right now, is my favorite new soldier, Breakbeat Wildcat, and I've enjoyed the challenge of Hit the Road, although it would have been good to have a bit more variety like we had with Frostnite. I honestly do believe that they're working hard to get Season 11 to be amazing, and I still have a ton of hope left for this game, and I trust in the developers. I'm so excited to see what Season 11 has to offer, but I've definitely still enjoyed myself this season. Parts of it have reinvigorated my desire to make content, and I made what I believe is the best video of my time as a content creator for Save the World because of the new rad heroes. I know we're all passionate about this amazing game, and I trust that the best is yet to come, and cannot wait to see how that manifests itself. So I wanted to put this tweet in here because this offers the point of view of a newer player, and I can definitely respect a lot of the stuff that he said. He goes on to talk about how the soldiers that we've gotten and the content we've gotten this season has been pretty revolutionary, and granted it has in terms of the team perk and whatever, but at the end of the day it's just more of the same for a lot of long-time players. He goes on to talk about Hit the Road, and he wishes it had more variety. I think we can all agree with this, and he does have a lot of optimism for Season 11. I personally do as well, but I know that a lot of the community is very cautious about Season 11. I really wanted to bring this tweet up, and we are going to go on to the last tweet, which I feel like mostly represents what most of us are feeling. This is from Banana. He says, I know that Epic is putting a lot of attention to cosmetics, and it's something that 99.9% of the Save the World community want, but not all people are working on wraps. I'm annoyed that there's a lot of things that they need to fix, but hold on like this. I also know that Season 11 is close, but not every dev has to focus on that, or else the game would be stale for the rest of the season, which it probably will be. The only thing that will make me enjoy the game again is if they focus on what they promised, but also make the game better by not breaking the game. And also if they have another season like this one, literally no content at all, which I slightly disagree with. We had a little bit of content, but compared to others, nada. Then it will probably get a lot of people pissed off and will make them quit. So I hope that Season 11 has some great stuff for us, and not having us wait until Season 12 to fix something they could have done in Season 11. So I entirely agree with this. It seems that this entire season has been put on halt for cosmetics, or at least that's what we're assuming, but as Banana says, not everybody at Epic Games has to be working on cosmetics, mostly the art team, to be honest. And he goes on to talk about stuff in terms of not breaking the game. I mean, if they could just release an update without breaking something that is essential to the game, and then goes on to talk about how he doesn't want to wait for Season 12 because Season 11 is going to be the most make or break that this game has ever seen. Ever since Frostnite, that was by far the best time that this game has ever had, and it gave us a lot of hope for the game, but as time has gone on, things have died off. Season 11 needs to hit as hard as Frostnite did, or people just just are not going to enjoy it. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I wanted to go over the news. I wanted to go over what you guys have been saying over on Twitter and give you guys a few different point of views other than just mine. At the end of the day, this is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that we've had to wait over 5 months for this to actually get implemented, and even then we still got to wait for season 11, is pretty inexcusable. I am happy that Epic Games is going to be communicating with us a lot more from now on, but again, the fact that Twine Peaks rewards, which is an integral part of the game, have been an issue this long is pretty bad. I am a little bit hopeful for season 11, as it seems that Epic Games is putting all their resources towards this, as they are completely doubling down on this season to be able to revive the entirety of the game, and I hope to God that that's actually true. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. But yeah, guys, that is it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did like it, dislike if you did not, subscribe if you're new, because I make videos like this almost every single day, and I'll see you guys next time.